We are here in my hometown of Lawrence, Massachusetts. A lot of family, friends still here. You know, my stepdad, he works in the maintenance department, one of the heads of the Lawrence school systems. My dad has been a firefighter here for 27 years. A lot of roots here. I'm beyond excited to be here.
Yeah, what's great about this place is that things are growing. Like the brewery we're about to head to just started up last year, and I can't wait to check it out. We're gonna find out what's on tap at Spicket River Brewery.
Across the nation, people have turned the hobby of crafting beer into a lifestyle. Amazing breweries are only a few minutes away from your own home.
From nano to regional or micro to macro, the question you won't need to ask is what's on tap. Spicket River. I mean, yeah, how did you guys get started here and when?
Well, we've been building for quite some time. Like this took us like about 2 years to launch, and we're approaching our 1 year this October. It was just like, it was this idea that I had. You know, I was brewing. I got involved with I was just like a home brewer, so I got involved with this community of just local brewers. And I was like, man, like this would be so rad. Like I want to do this for a living. Like this is my calling, man. And then I started incorporating the whole idea of this, like taking back the waterways here. I grew up on the Spicket. You know, like Spicket runs from Londonderry all the way down to Lawrence. It empties out in Lawrence into the Merrimack. And I used to just play as a kid on the banks of the Spicket, man. And then I just seen how like it started just deteriorating, and it just became like this polluted waterway. So my idea at first was like, yeah, let's make this beer, and then let's like get active and like bring attention, like start taking back this waterway, start protecting the waterway, and you know, have some dope beer on the way. So that was kind of like my idea, and then this kind of sprung out of it, you know what I mean? And then it started gaining momentum, and then it became about like, all right, so now I'm integrating with the city of Lawrence. I'm from Lawrence. I'm gonna start showing like what Lawrence has to offer. You know, we're the city that's been typecasted so negative. Like there's so much stuff here that it just sheds a negative light, you know? And we try to turn this negativity into something positive, man. And that's like our mission, that's our calling. You know what I mean? There's so much more here. There's so much culture. There's so much that's happening, man. So many talented people. And we just gotta bring that to light, man. That's it.
We talked a little bit about it before we had started rolling, and you talked about how important it was to get something like this, a brewery set up in Lawrence. You know, why, first of all, and then how has the reception been since you guys opened?
Man, the reception's been amazing, man. And it's just like, you know, it's important for us because like we see, like we go into other communities and you see where breweries are being like erected, and you could see like how much like the community goes, and like it's like this meeting place, this chill place, and it just kind of like heals things in this community, brings like this positivity, and that's the culture that's been bred in the brewing world, you know what I mean, in breweries. And you know, we had to have one here, man. Like that's it, like we needed to come together, man. And we have like this vibe, man. It's like all walks of life are coming. We got people from the burbs, and then we got people here in the city, and they just mingle, man. And it's just like this beautiful thing, man. It's you know, that's like the payoff for me. It's not about the money, it's not about whatever. It's just about seeing people like this just integrate and just really come together. Even in these times, like all the shit that's happening, man. It's just beautiful, just how they get along, man.
Talk about those, like the beers you got here. I mean, what is, you know, Lawrence doing, and the people that come in here, you know, are they inspiring your beers, the names? Absolutely. Yeah.
Like absolutely, like we're reflective of what we're doing, you know what I mean? Like, so Bodega Juice, for example, you know, a bodega is just a corner store that we have here in Lawrence, you know what I mean? Normally you get some like cool juices there, like some dope food. So I was like, we gotta make it. This is a no-brainer. Here you go. And that's like our #1 like house beer.
Yeah, that's like our flagship.
That's our
right
flagship.
there.
We fly that,
sure.
you know what I mean? And it's just kind of cool, like with the graph too, like everything is just like.
And it gives bodegas a better name too, you know?
So do you usually have, with Bodega Juice, that's your flagship, but do you usually have the same beers, or do you kind of rotate constantly?
Yeah, we're constantly rotating. There's a lot of beer. We've created a lot of beers. Like I think we're for a short time, we're probably like, yeah, I think we're like over 21, 22 different styles of beer, you know what I mean? Or different beers. But yeah, man, like, and all of them are kind of like theme orientated, you know what I mean?
How often are you putting out new beers, like something, a new release or?
We're probably doing it like twice a month now. Oh, really? Just with this whole COVID thing, because that's how we evolved. Like, we weren't really like thinking of distributing, right? We were thinking of, but hey, like, let's just have this funky spot and, you know, pour off our tap room and just chill, like have some cans here and there. But then we just was like, all right, we got shut down. Now it's time to ramp up. So, and that was it. Like, we started cranking. And
So when it comes to actually making it, now you say you're a brewer assistant?
I'm a brewer
assistant, you're
yes.
right in the mix with everything though. So where does the inspiration come from in creating new types of beer, at least for you?
Mike, our head brewer, he really knows how to complement different hop notes, you know, and I think he does it really well. I think it's that knowledge alone, you know. He came from Frost, and you know, he already had those ideas. But me, you know, we like a fruity aesthetic, you know. Fresca has Mandarina Bavaria and Barb, you know, like Hustlin' has Idaho 7 and Armorillo and Simcoe, you know what I mean? Like, he knows how to blend these piney, fruity, and kind of make it just really smooth. So I'm trying to learn as much from him because I have a fruity aesthetic myself. You know, the first beer I made, I started a Chinook, and then the second one I made was a strawberry Imperial Blonde, you know? And then I started getting a little fruitier, but I wanted my ABV higher. So I'm trying to kind of take a lot from him as well and do it on my own. Like, John and I just started homebrewing the other day. So we're gonna get at that, you know, as much as we can and put as much of our ideas into it as well.
Yeah, I had to dust off my boots and come out of retirement, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I was itching, you know?
Yeah, I was in packaging for a year. So I'm like fresh off, you know, from that world. So I'm finally able to kind of create a little more, and seeing this, it's really giving me a lot of ideas. So, you know, I can't wait.
So what are you looking to do next? You know, now that you've been open here, you're getting your crowd in, what's the next, you know, thing for Spicket River?
Honestly, like, you know, we want to further the brand and like kind of spread our, like, this is the intentions with the food truck over here. I don't know if you noticed, but we want to spread the brand further, man. We want to raise a flag here, and then people, you know, people start noticing us. You know what I mean? Starting to be like, wow, Lawrence is making noise. You know what I mean? That's what we want. You know what I mean? I think that's like our goal. I mean, until we hit that, I don't think we're gonna be happy. We're chilling here. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. You know, we're healing our community, but man, we want to shed a light.
So with breweries, a lot of people think beer, but these places are not just beer. You also got food, and like, look what we got. You got wings, mango habanero with mangoes in the wings, your flatbread. Tell us how, you know, you're coming up with items here, pairing it with the beer. What's, you know, the thought process?
Always, like, I'm start like, what was it, like 3 months ago, right? We started here, working here. So like, the idea is to make like something like the people like. The people always look for beers and something to eat. So the easy menu that we have right here is wings and pizzas. That's the two topics we have right here, wings and pizzas. So everybody is coming out for a beer and wings and pizza, like there, and the quality of the food is good because always we use fresh like products. Like that one, the wings, the mango wings always is fresh mango. Yeah. The buffalo, like, you know, it's regular sauce. The tomatoes, spinach tomatoes, always we use everything fresh tomatoes, fresh spinach, like.
We source local too.
Okay, so it's all mass.
Yeah, it's all mass, and then there's another nonprofit that has like a farm here. They're called Groundworks Lawrence. We get some of the produce there. We get some of the produce from local farms, and then, you know, when we do use distributors, we make sure that we get, you know, produce from Mass.
I mean, it goes hand in hand with the beer, like you said. Fresh ingredients for the beer, fresh ingredients for the food. You couldn't ask for anything more.
What do you think?
Tasty wings. I mean, and the sauce too. It really isn't that hot. He might think it's hot, because that's who he is.
It's kind of medium spicy.
Like, that's just delicious.
I add like fresh mango. The fresh mango kills a little bit the spicy, so it's a balance.
It balances, yeah.
What kind of flatbread we got here?
That's a chicken barbecue.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's right up my alley.
However, we do have food.
This pizza is unreal.
Thanks, Ted.
This is unreal. Flatbread, not just pizza, different. Wow. I'll buy that every day. Every day.
Oh my God.
Wings to compliment.
Excuse my
This
language.
was good.
This is fucking incredible. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We have a couple paninis and a couple quesadillas and some nachos on the thing. Nice, simple, clean, fast bar food. You know what I mean? Like that's our focus. However, we do have a food truck, and what we do on that food truck is we give local people who are aspiring to own a food truck a platform. So that food truck's a revolving food truck. Right now we have three ladies. They go by the Tres Latinas, and they focus on Venezuelan foods. So they're cooking off like arepas and stuff that's native to them. They're here, you know, they're here on some select times. I think it's like Monday through Thursdays. You know, don't quote me on that, but they come in there, man, and they knock it out.
That's crazy. So is it every week you're changing?
It's every week, you know, like, so we get them, like, they have aspirations of owning their own food truck, so we get them, like, you know, ready.
So they were teasing us with those delicious looking cans outside. We got a bunch back here in the cooler now. We got to give these a try.
I mean, cans that look like this, these cans are so cool.
Yep.
The beer, though, I'm excited to try this beer. I think it's time for us to pour four. Where do you want to start?
Let's start lightest to darkest, right? So our first one's Fresco. It's like a hopped lager. You know what I mean? Like everything here, like, you know, we're trying to bring, you know, this juice, this hop. You know what I mean? We're trying to hit your palate right away. So you take a sip of it, you get that right away. It's not just this like light. It is light and crisp, but yeah, like you have that.
There's a little extra. Yeah, they usually don't get in regular lagers.
That's what I'm saying. There feels like there's something more there, and that's what craft is all about too. You're trying to expose everybody else to. Everyone's had lagers, but no one's had, you know, what you guys got with your lager here.
Yeah, that's Mandarina Bavaria and Bar Rouge hops. So like that orange, like strawberry, like.
Very light, very crisp. You said it. You know, you can put a bunch of these down.
I'm so used to lagers having a very specific taste, and every time it's not that. And it just keeps you coming back for more.
So our next one is no labels. So again, you saw the can prior. This is like, this is a blonde ale, but really like kind of a baby IPA. You know what I mean?
Much more of that taste.
Yeah. So it's like a hybrid between like an IPA and a blonde ale.
You get that smoothness from the blonde. Like blondes always come out real smooth, real easy. You can just down some blonde ales, but then you're getting a little bit juicy.
Another like crushable beer. You know what I mean? Super popular. You know, another main focus for us is like, we don't just like cater to like the craft beer drinker. We want like people who don't drink beer to come in here and be like, yo, I can drink this beer. You know what I mean? This is cool. Like, we want to introduce beer to non-beer drinkers. That's it. You know what I mean? And our, like, where we're at, bro, like, they don't drink that much beer, you know what I mean? Like in Lawrence. So this is a great introduction. You know, this is like appealing to them. It catches their palate.
And you get a different taste too, you know, and it feels like something that's just really easy for when you're trying to get that beer to the non-beer drinkers. You introduce them to this. This isn't like a scary, like really bitter, like ready for this. Like
A blonde is a good intro anyways for non-beer drinkers too, you know? Like Why are you laughing? Because I said a blonde's an easy way.
I feel like these first two really, like you were talking about the collaboration with you and Mike, the different styles, like these are both almost hybrids, like hybrid beers, like you said, and really, really different than anything you've ever tried. When you think of a blonde, when you think of a lager, it is that hoppiness that you've added into it. Like this is almost like a session IPA, reminds me of you. It's a little bit lower ABV, but you still get that hoppiness to it.
Third is our flagship.
This is the one.
It's Bodega.
Okay.
See, you already know.
Yeah.
You already know it.
We definitely hit like the staple hops. There's Citra in there. You know what I mean?
Citra, Mosaic. We threw a little Idaho in there as well, but it's a more in Amarillo as well. And he threw a little El Dorado in there too. It's kind of, I think he has 5 different hops.
angles.
He has 5 different hop profiles.
This is like our first kind of me and Mike interaction. So I was like, Mike, you know what I mean? Like I was relying on puree, right? And Mike was like, bro, don't throw fruit in beer. Like I can make you a beer that is just as juicy as you throwing puree in there. And I'm like, you do that and I'll call it Bodega Juice. And then he was like, there you go.
I can see that's easy. Yeah, this is a flagship. Absolutely.
That flag is up. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Nice and hazy, juicy, tastes real. I love what I'm tasting here. Throwing in that whole combination of hops that you got. I mean, this is what an interesting. Put them all in there. Go for it. Put a lot of hours into brewing this one. Yeah.
You know, honestly, it really isn't a tough brew day when we do Bodega. You know, like just a little churros, some oats, and then you know, he throws the El Dorado and the Mosaic into the whirlpool, but it's a quick day. You know, I think he just. With the measurements, it's insane, honestly, to see his process.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, how are you going to do Amarillo, Citra, Idaho, you know, all this stuff? And he's like, just, you know, it's insane how he does it.
More clear than the last couple we got.
Yep. So this is mine. This is an original that I had. So this is my Menace. You know what I mean? Got the Menace tattooed on me. You know what I mean? Like straight up. Like this is it. This is like a nice like West Coast fruited.
It's a different hop profile as well. Some weird ones in there as well.
Just a little more bitter, but it's not overwhelming, not overpowering. You still get the citrus flavor.
I fruited it with like this fruit called lulo. So it's kind of like, you know, like Caribbean orange.
The Eureka too, I think, gives it that like that bitterness. So Mosaic too, and Simcoe's in there as well.
It's definitely West Coast. I mean, you really feel West Coast, especially as we're in New England. I was thinking we're gonna come to New England, and I'm like, all right, so they talk about New England style. Are we just gonna get New England style everywhere we go? So far, no. Like with this, I mean, you're getting that West Coast style, and you are getting that fruit right at the beginning as you drink it. It's a really nice. That's something different. It's got a nice compliment to it.
Is this one that you were brewing at home too before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then like, you know, so I was brewing on like a half barrel system. You know what I mean? So we started like when I met him, we started scaling up. You know, he showed me some technical flaws that I was doing. So again, he's collabed a lot. He's refined my recipes a lot.
Yeah, it's got to your point that you can put these out in cans. You're always on tap. Like, you do a bigger system. That's delicious.
Darkest we got here.
Stark difference.
So that's Cropocalypse. It's a nice like Irish stout, you'd say.
Yeah, chocolatey, roasted barley. He made like a liquid chocolate mix.
Yeah.
And she hits about 7.5, I think.
So not bad for something this dark. That's
Another one I'm not feeling no high ABV with it. Yeah.
The whole thing behind the name. So there's this like phenomena in Lawrence, and where we have one of the largest crow migrations here. It's crazy. They black out the sky. So it's like a spin on like, all right, we see all these crows, it's like the end of the world. So Cropocalypse. And then it's another spin in where like we're like wicked like hip hop influence too, like, you know, like we live this life. And then we just homaged out like this Tupac, so this Tupacalypse. So it was like a kind of mix of all that. And that's like, if you see the label, that you'll see like crows with like kind of like Tupac gob on like Crow Life and like these bandanas. Like, so we just kind of wanted to incorporate and tie everything in. And then we're like, well, this beer needs to be black as a crow. You know what I mean? Like, just black it out.
Like going all that in depth, just thinking about the label for this, the color, and then you get the quality of it. Like,
Every beer has a story. Every beer that John thinks of has a story.
And this is a great stout. This is great. Like, I just, kind of like what you want in a stout is what you're getting here. Finish is nice. Doesn't.
I was gonna say, you don't feel it sitting in your stomach. Like, these were incredible. Absolutely incredible beers.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Different, yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
It's cool, man. It was a pleasure, man.
It's great. Great atmosphere. You can bring your dog. You can bring your dog outside. Tons of outside seating. Plenty of indoor seating. Good food. I have pizza. Great beer, great food, great location. Beautiful bar, great location.
So if somebody wants to get Spicket River beer on one of their taps, say it's a restaurant, another bar, do a guest tap, or even just, you know, trying to pick up a keg somewhere, how are they getting a hold of you guys?
I mean, they can look us up online. We have a website. They can, you know, they can call us. All right, we're very accessible, and you know, we're not handled by any distributor. We self-distribute. We believe in controlling our own thing here, you know what I mean? You know, we're selective on where we place beer, you know what I mean? We don't want to just place beer everywhere. We want people to like, we want to vibe with the people that we're placing beer with, you know what I mean? We want our ideals, our principles to be kept, you know what I mean? To be sacred with them, you know? That's how we handle distribution, you know? But yeah.
So that wraps up our day here at Spicket River Brewery. We can't thank John David, Nalani, John, everyone here at Spicket River enough because, I mean, this place is incredible. This place is unbelievable. And I can't wait to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a name that you're going to have to remember. Spicket River, they're going to be everywhere. They're about to blow up. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, so you can see where our journey takes us next on What's on Tap.
Cheers.